So meet Purrble, our socially assistive robot.
What we essentially did initially was looked at minority youth at risk. So we looked at ethnic minorities and LGBTQ. My background is in self-harm and LGBTQ youth. What we found is essentially in that first feasibility study was that ethnic minority youth were like, yeah, no, it's fine. It's feasible, acceptable. Whereas LGBTQ youth were like, I love it. Going to a college where I was actively trying not to do anything, I just had about 20 LGBTQ youth who just lay on the floor with Purrble and refused to go to classes because they were like, we want to stay here with Purrble. So we had 153 people who were analysed, and that's from 155 overall. We had randomised based on gender identity, essentially by cisgender, so you identify with the gender you assigned at birth, or trans and gender diverse, where you don't agree with the gender you were defined with birth. When we looked at everyone together, there was a significant improvement in emotion regulation between baseline and follow-up, so that's a 13-week trial. There was improvements in anxiety, but they didn't hit significance. And then there was significant improvement with depression. We didn't see any difference with the self-harm. But when you talk to people, there is difference. But it's hard to measure self-harm statistically because the measures are a bit wonky and hard. It's such an insidious thought pattern that it's really hard to get rid of self-harmful thoughts. So the fact that when we talk to people, they can say, no, I did use it in that context and it did help me to not act on my self-harm, or I was able to stop myself reaching the point of self-harm. That's incredibly meaningful, but we haven't been able to show it statistically. We see that lots of these young people don't feel that they can or that they're worthy of self-compassion, which is really sad, and it's to do with lots of things to do with their mental health, but sometimes it's to do with identity as well. They may not feel able to be compassionate to themselves, but lots of people are transferring that to Purrble. They can be compassionate to Purrble. I can't hurt myself because Purrble's in the room. Almost acting like that sort of pet element of, Purrble would be sad if I did this, or I can't, like someone was like, well, I can't do that because what if Purrble got messy? And it's like, oh, the idea that it's almost a protective factor because you need to care for something else.
I guess that it's incredibly nuanced, and like the way you talk about it matters, and if it was going to be delivered in sort of an NHS setting, you couldn't just have like it on the side and someone just gets given it. It has to be like given in a way like you did when you gave it to the young people in the study, and it isn't just a cuddly toy, like it does things. It has, like you were saying, it has sort of like pressure receptors and stuff like that.
It's lovely when people come up to you at conferences and they want to talk about things, and it is a bit of a fan favourite simply because you can play with it, and I think that makes it more impactful to stay in people's heads. So when there's that element of it's digital, we all think of online spaces, and then sort of spinning that around and being like, this is digital too, is really interesting to sort of start those conversations. And why does it work? People have said, oh, I know people who this would work for, or like my daughter would love this, or like my mum would love this, and maybe this would work for people who may have lost babies or dementia or different sort of health spaces and mental health spaces. So that's really exciting. But I think Lucy has said it best, where it's like, really think about framing it, really think about how you present it to people, because that's going to matter.